I'm Karen Heller, founder and owner of Charisme LLC, and this is vlog number 5. This vlog number 5 is actually dedicated to number 9. And when I say number 9, I mean the 9th thing that I forgot from my last vlog. My last vlog was the 8 things that I recognized by watching the Olympics that corporate America could learn about greatness. This vlog is kind of a big one for me because I'm going to be pouring my heart out to you. This is something that my clients do very often with me, and I think it's only fair that I pour my heart out for you. As I was watching the 10,000 meter men's race, it got me thinking it's hard to imagine that any Olympic athlete would have been able to overcome the challenges of trials without believing that they could be an Olympic athlete or win gold. Furthermore, the number 9 thing that Olympic athletes have to do, that I think that anybody with a goal and a dream has to do, is believe in themselves. That thought became more solidified even as the announcers were talking about what was going on in the race. 3 Ethiopian runners were rumored to want to block Farah from the finish line, that they were going to try to, form a barrier, a physical barrier, preventing him from reaching the finish line, him and Rupp. What kind of champion wins a race by preventing somebody else from running their fastest? But there are people out there who want to sabotage someone's dreams and goals. That's important to recognize, because I'm always telling my clients there are a lot of people like me who would absolutely help somebody, knowing that that person is going to do great things and help other people as well. The only thing is that there's a lot of people out there also who, for whatever reason, don't want you to succeed where they haven't, because that proves to them that maybe they could have done it, or they should have done it, or it was worth the effort. They were talking about how the runner in front will impact the pace of the race. They will speed up and then slow down, and they'll speed up and slow down, all with the intention of planting a moment of doubt in another runner's mind that they won't have the push for that last 1,000 meters of the race. That runner has to prevent that moment of doubt from happening. I imagine that it would take discipline and practice and as much effort and ritual and focus as it does to physically train. The things that I've applied in my life mentally to help me overcome some of the mental doubts that I've had, and I've had plenty. If you knew me as a little girl, you would have never imagined that this would be my life. I have goals and dreams yet to realize, but if I really take stock of what I've achieved in my life right now compared to what I thought was possible for my life when I was little, I have to be proud. When I was a little girl, I was afraid to get on a roller coaster with my friend. You would have never thought that I would have jumped out of a plane or jumped off the side of a mountain with nothing but a parachute and a guy strapped to my back. And if you would have known me as a little girl, you would have seen a girl who was teased so heavily that I would spend whole classes crying. Maybe you could have told her that she would someday be the lead singer in a rock band, and she would found her own music festival that would be going 10 years strong. And if you would have known me as a little girl, you would have seen somebody who was very awkward and who didn't really know how to keep friends, and whose friends wouldn't admit to their other friends that they were friends with me. And if you would have told me back then that I would be friends with so many people for so long. I have probably around 3 dozen really close friends that I've kept for over 10 years, some even 20 years. If you knew me as a little girl, you would have seen a little girl who was afraid that she would never have a boyfriend and that nobody would ever love her. And you could have told that little girl that she would grow up to marry her Prince Charming and have 2 beautiful little girls. And if you would have seen me as a little girl in 8th grade, failing science and not believing that she could ever go to college anyway, if you could have told her that she would have wound up going to one of the best liberal arts colleges and then going on to have a successful career placing candidates in Fortune 500 companies, and then furthermore starting her own company that helps people realize their dreams, I think she would have started to believe in herself. But see, that's the thing about believing in yourself. It's called faith because you have to believe in what you can't see. Instead, what I had to do is I had to give myself little tests to continually prove to myself what I was capable of. And I didn't do it alone. I did it with the help of therapists and coaches and mentors and friends and family. I needed help to start believing in myself. And it also continually takes being mentored and being coached and seeking out resources like books and webinars and sitting in seminars and being open and surrounding myself with people who live at a level that I aspire to live at, to learn from them how they do it. And see if these are resources that can help you work on your mental game, because it's absolutely critical if you're going to achieve any goal and actually make an effort to do so, that at the same time you're doing the activities to make that happen, that you work on the mental game that helps you overcome the challenges. We can't always prevent those negative thoughts from entering, but we can know what to do when they do enter, and that's to shut them up. There's self-hypnosis, and there are ways that you can train yourself to just get into the brainwave activity that's conducive for getting in touch with your best self, because your best self is in there. And for some reason, your best self decided to believe somebody else in telling you you don't deserve to succeed, or succeeding is for the privileged or the lucky or the charmed. But the truth is, why not you? Why shouldn't it be you that succeeds? If somebody else has done it, or if even nobody else has done it, why wouldn't it be you? There's a coach called John Assaraf, and he has some audio files that you can download for neural reconditioning. There's something called an emotional freedom technique, or EFT. It's also called emotional tapping. It has to do with the meridians in your body, and it just helps you kind of rid those meridians of those negative thoughts that you've become. The last vlog I talked about mental rehearsal is something that the athletes do, and what that involves is actually just picturing every moment of their event, including the challenges, the sensations, the pain, picturing themselves overcoming that. Lynn McTaggart, a few books, including The Field and the Intention Experiment, that talks a lot about mental rehearsal. Muhammad Ali was really big on mental rehearsal. Muhammad Ali was also really big on affirmations. Tony Robbins goes one step further and talks about incantations. And actually on my YouTube channel, I have favorited a Tony Robbins clip where he actually talks about incantations. There's prayer and meditation, and again, rituals associated with those that actually have been proven to repair those mental patterns. You might even want to look into quantum jumping. You probably have to have some pretty deep knowledge of quantum physics to believe in the concept of quantum jumping. It's kind of a leap. There's landmark education. Landmark education is coaching that takes place in a public forum, and it's very accelerated. It can bring you from this level of living to this level of living. Then there's something actually that is, it's something that I learned as a result of being a singer in a band, because if you would have seen that little girl who I was, you would never believe that I'd be comfortable on a stage letting loose. And that's because I created the same thing as Beyonce did. It's an alter ego. It's somebody that you can be in your performance mindset to allow yourself star moments. A lot of us would find it hard to see ourselves on stage being the center of attention and accepting our greatness. You can decide that when you walk into that interview, this is who you're going to be. You can spend 5-10 minutes going through that event as that person, and then decide that that's who you're going to be. I'm going to keep on unveiling my brilliance, and I want to also keep on unveiling your brilliance, and I want you to unveil your own brilliance. Unleash the power of your mind.